Hari Om. Gently close your eyes. Your fingers interlaced and placed in front. Your body relaxed. Your back, neck and head direct. Your breathing is normal. Attend to your mind. Let the thoughts that come into your mind gently die away into whispers. We will chant the mantra Om followed by the invocatory prayer. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu bhavet vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. We will chant 10 shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verses 1 to 10, please. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manurikshva Kave Bravit Yevam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu Sakale Neha Mahata Yogo Nashtah Parantapa Sayevayam Maya Tedya Yoga Prokta Puratanaha Bhakto Simev Sakha Cheti Rahasyam Hetaduttamam. Arjuna Uvacha Aparam Bhavato Janma Param Janma Vivasvataha Kathametadvijaniyam Tvamadau Proktavaniti. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tava charjuna Tanyaham veda sarvani Natvam veta parantapa Ajopi sannav vyayatma भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम् धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन वीतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः
Last two sessions we were discussing about cleanliness. Cleanliness at the mind and the physical body level. So at the physical gross level, keeping the environment clean, the external environment clean, then keeping the physical body clean, keeping the emotions, feelings clean, the thoughts and ideas clean, and then the vasanas. Because as the vasanas, so the intellect, the thought, the feelings, emotions, the mind, and the physical action. So, strictly speaking, first we have to change the root, the vasana. As the nature, so the expression. The carnivore has, the tiger, the lion has aggressive nature, therefore the physical expression. The cow has, mild, calm nature, therefore the expression. Same way here, even with the human being, as the nature, so the thoughts, feelings, and the physical action. Whereas we are going from the opposite side, trying to keep the physical body clean, pure. That's what the Sanskrit word is, Shuchihi, Shoucham, purity. Because, why are we talking about cleanliness here? Atman is pure. There is nothing other than, 100% purity. It is like saying, is there darkness in sun? There is all light in sun. S-U-N, not S-O-N. So in that way, Atman is ever pure. When it functions through the physical body, mind and intellect, Atman appears to be impure, but it cannot, at any given circumstances, Atman is always pure. It cannot be impure. When I say it here, we don't have to mean it as a neutral gender, a thing. That's how English usage is. There's a restriction, limitation. So, what we are trying to discuss here is, since the Atman is ever pure, then what we are trying to do is we are trying to keep, that is what our original nature is. We are that Atman, but we are foolishly identifying with the body, mind, intellect. Therefore, that we are able to see, we are able to feel that impure nature. Hence, if we start cleansing the external, from the external periphery, the physical body, the environment, then slowly move from gross to the subtle. I always give this example. We can only water the plants at the soil level, the external level. We can't water directly into the roots. We can't dig the soil and then pour water and then cover it up with soil again. The plant will not grow that way. So, we are pouring water onto the soil, and the soil slowly absorbs the water, and then the roots slowly, drink. As the roots get this nourishment here, then slowly you see the plants shooting up, yielding fruits. Same way, friends, we are trying to clean at the external level, the soil level, at the physical level, the gross physical body level. Then slowly we are, getting inside to the mind and the intellect. And as we do this in this process, the root, the vasana, also gets cleansed. That is the idea here. Are you all following me? If you have any doubts, please clarify. So, once the vasana, the nature has changed, then the thoughts change, the emotions change, and the physical actions change. When the vasana is completely pure, then that is what the very nature of Atman is. So, at the subtle level, if you are able to understand this concept here, what is making that Atman impure? So in this context, I'd like to bring in the 3 gunas, qualities, which is what the nature of vasana is. The 3 gunas, qualities, in Sanskrit they are sattva, rajas, and tamas. Again, I would like to discuss again from the the third guna, the tamo guna. Tamas means, it can be translated as laziness, inertia, no activity, sleep. Totally indifferent attitude, callous, not careless, callous. And this tamaha is, one of the expression is that procrastination, postponing things. అப்புறம் பார்த்துக்கலாம், తర్వాత చూస్తాను, అப்புறம் பார்த்துக்கலாம் means let us look into it later. the same thing in Telugu. Tarvata chustam. Let us see later. Any job, whatever job you give, the person has the tendency to procrastinate, postpone, go to bed late, get up from bed late, eat late, take bath late, attend everything in life, late. Even death also will be late probably, I don't know. Because you have to go through that phase of life. This tamaha quality, can be equated to complete masking. You can see the curtain behind me here, maroon in color. Outside there is so much of light. So that light is completely cut off. And now we are having artificial light inside. Imagine if there is no light, if there is no power, there is no backup electricity or whatever, then if the thick curtain is covered, it veils, masks, covers the bright light, sunlight from outside. Tamaha is completely masking, covering the Atman, the purity within. That tamaha, vasana is of these three nature, the gunas. Okay? So, in this context, I'd like to mention that every human being is composed of these three qualities, gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, in some permutation and combination, and that makes human beings different from one another. So, when we say a person is tamasic in nature, means that proportion, the aggregate of sattva, rajas and tamas, assuming it is equivalent to, mathematically equivalent to 100, when a person is tamasic in nature, then we can say in this context that tamasic tendency is more predominant, and that action, still we have not explained what rajas is, but I am giving, bringing in a word here. Rajas means action, sattva means purity. Both are of negligible quantity. So, in this case, a person who is tamasic in nature, then the tamasic qualities are predominant, rajas and sattva are less in number. So this proportion will be equal to 100. You can say 80% tamas, then 15% rajas, so 95, then 5% sattva, or even some number, but predominantly the tamas is high in number. Even this person who is extremely lazy has to walk around, eat something. To that extent, there has to be action. Take bath, even if he takes bath late, put on the dress. Limited activity. I have come across people, those who take bath 2-3, once in 2-3 days, because extreme laziness. They sleep throughout the day, throughout the night. They eat sometimes even once in 2 days or something like that. Extreme laziness, gross laziness. Then rajasic quality. A person who is predominantly rajasic means extremely active. So opposite of laziness. So much of action. A person who is a kind of a go-getter, an achiever. Each one has got its own advantages and disadvantages. Tamasic quality, total disadvantage only. Rajasic quality, a person wants to achieve many things. So Rajas is action. We could say hyperaction. We are not talking about those children or human beings, those who have, some mental disability and all that. We are talking about a normal human being who's normal. In those scenario, what happens? That's what discussion is here. So you don't have to think in terms of what happens to all these mentally retarded people and all that. We're not considering those type of persons at all here. So predominantly Rajasic means, again, the proportion will be Rajas will be 70% or 75%. Tamas will be maybe 10%. So 75 plus 10, 85, and the remaining 15% will be Sattvic, because even the Rajasic person thinks. One of the quality of a Sattvic person is to exercise his intellect. And this is what I meant here as each and every quality has got its advantage and disadvantage. So the Rajasic person, because a person is an achiever, wants to achieve many things, but is disadvantage is result oriented. So a person puts in effort in a particular field, and if the result is not commensurate with his action, the person gets agitated, worked up. Duty, the person is extremely frenzied activity. Therefore, to what extent the person wants to achieve, to that extent, the person is result oriented, and therefore is not able to focus on action, because once your focus is on result orientation, then the present action is not performed well. If the present action is not performed well, then the future result is not attained. Therefore, mental agitation. Since there is mental agitation, then not able to concentrate. No concentration, no success. Terribly attached. I am doing this. I alone can do this. That kind of I am the doer attitude. Sometimes egoistic. Then Sattvic, pure, person who uses the intellect. So result orientation, attachment, worry, anxiety, it's all the typical nature of the mind. So here the person is having clarity. What a person wants to do, achieve, and something which is impractical, keep it aside. So hyperactive, when compared to Rajas, which is hyperactive, here there is transactive. So no action, laziness, tamas, hyperaction, Rajas, transaction, sattva, sattvic. Spiritual sadhana, I'm going to conclude here. Spiritual sadhana is, we're talking about cleanliness, last two sessions. Spiritual sadhana means cleansing the two qualities, getting rid of the two qualities, that is complete laziness, and giving proper direction for the rajas, and enhancing sattva. That purity. Ultimately what is left is, so that impure nature is brought by tamas and rajas. Hence, if we get rid of that impurity, then what is left is purity, and that is what that sattva is. Sattva alone cannot remain as single quality, because human being possess three qualities in permutation combination. Now when there is negligible quantum of rajas and tamas. Sattva mathematically can be 99.99% extending. It cannot be, like this. Hence, the trans sattva takes place, which is Atman. And this is what realization is. I am mathematically explaining you, but it is very difficult to understand this. But once we get rid of the laziness, and once we give a proper direction for rajas, then we are able to raise above all desires and exhaust all the desires, and that is what attainment of purity, 100% purity, absolute purity, and that is what realization is. And this is what that sadhana is, and this is what the cleansing process is. So this cleansing process can be done, sadhana can be done through karma, bhakti and jnana, the three processes, practices. Karma yoga, path of action, bhakti yoga, the path of devotion, and jnana yoga, the path of knowledge. So with these three processes, tamas and rajas are reduced initially and then totally annihilated in the end. And in the later stages of spiritual journey, a person does dhyanam, meditation, and even the traces of sattva is got rid of and attain samadhi, realization. So slowly, one by one, we will take it up. So since I want to conclude it here with regards to the topic where we are talking about cleanliness from external purity, keeping the environment clean, then the physical body clean, then still we have not taken up the mind. How to cleanse the mind here with a subtle thought. Last session we touched upon that, and we also discussed saying that the mind consists of likes and dislikes, feelings, emotions, worry, anxiety, desires, attachment, etc. So how to get rid of all those things? And that is what I brought in this session, that the cleansing process of the mind in a way is the rajas and tamas. And hence we brought in vasana, which is made of three qualities, gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. And once tamaha and rajas is taken care of and sattva is enhanced, spiritual sadhana, you move towards realization. So we will conclude it here, and again we will take up the discussion in the next session. Hari Om.